Now, don't get it fucked up. Everybody's not going to have the street success story. Everybody's not going to have the Jay-Z, quote unquote, only I'm not saying what he did in the streets, did his rhyme, from his rhymes, he says. You're not going to always have the luck of selling 92 bricks, lost 92 bricks and crawl back and get it all back and everything else. That's not for everybody. That destiny is not for everybody.
Everybody doesn't get the Jay-Z ending. Hold up, that part matters. Cam'ron just said the quiet part out loud, and listen to this, it hits different. This isn't about tearing down Jay-Z at all. It's not about denying success. It's about real life. Cam'ron explains why the streets don't reward everyone by the same rules, and why the 92 brick story sounds legendary, but the result is scarce, and why so many people confuse surviving with destiny. Girl. Cam'ron breaks down how the streets can shape you, while also showing how they can steal your true potential. Not everybody gets to lose everything and magically bounce back richer. Not everybody catches the same lucky break, and not everybody gets the rap story that turns into a billion-dollar empire. This conversation goes way beyond hip-hop. It's about environment, opportunity, and the choices people make when options are limited. I'm about to play the clip, but before I do, pause real quick, drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit subscribe. Let's get into it.
That's another thing. I talked about on It Is What It Is. It's a few places that I'm not going this year. I'm not going out my way, and I'm not going above and beyond. That's where I'm not going. I'm just not doing it. I'm settled in. I won't be traveling to any of those destinations. I'm just not going to do it. This is something else I want to point out. It's a lot of talk going on the internet, and I don't want to just relate this to rappers because, and this isn't about any rappers, what I'm about to say. I seen somebody on the internet, I wish I remembered his tag. If you guys remember his tag, make sure you tag him when you guys see this. But it was a guy talking about, fuck the streets. Fuck the streets, because certain rappers were saying fuck the streets. And I don't have an opinion if they say fuck the streets or don't fuck the streets. I'm talking about the rappers and how they feel and everything else. I have zero opinion on how they feel on that. But I did like what this person said. And what this person said is this, that, he was a street nigga, and then he said he basically didn't get nothing out of it. And he wasn't saying fuck the streets, but he basically was like, the streets made me, but at the same time, the streets robbed me of who I could have became. And I was like, yo, I really like the way he put that, because there's so many people that the streets, how I want to word this. The streets helped you definitely become who you are if you grew up in that environment. But let's say you didn't grow up in that environment and you could have been a chemist or a doctor or something else, but you didn't have that path. So sometimes the streets will rob you of being something greater than you may be already. And a lot of us that come from urban environments are so proud. Nah, nigga, I'm from the streets. What you could have been. A nigga Lotus Luck said, boy, he couldn't fly in the friendly skies. Nigga said, why he had to take that drive? Why couldn't he fly the friendly skies? That was one of my favorite battles right there. Shout out to Lotus Luck. Shout out to Calico too. Smart nigga too. But yeah, we're so quick to say that, yo, we street niggas, this, that, and the third. Now, don't get it fucked up. Everybody's not going to have the street success story. Everybody's not going to have the Jay-Z, quote unquote, only I'm not saying what he did in the streets, did his rhyme, from his rhymes, he says. You're not going to always have the luck of selling 92 bricks, lost 92 bricks and crawl back and get it all back and everything else. That's not for everybody. That destiny is not for everybody. So sometimes you have to think about what could have been if it didn't turn out good already, because the environment that you grew up in. I talked about this a year or two ago on It Is What It Is. We only go with the opportunities that's given to us. You know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to where, You know, I think I was talking about chicks in Colombia, and I was saying that they don't really necessarily want to sell their pussy for, you know, $35, you know, $40, $50, $60, $70. What was the price, Nick, when you went out there? $50? Yeah, $50. Like Nick went more recently than me. They raising the prices. I see a place. It's just tariffs and all that. They might be raising the prices. Bad bitches, $50, but this is the environment they get. So therefore, they like, damn, I don't necessarily have a job. This city, we get a lot of tourists. Let me get 5 niggas a day. That's $250 a day. $50, you get 5 tourists. You think she necessarily wants to do that? She may not want to do that, and I talked about that in a previous show. I also discovered when I was in Colombia, and not saying that was for me, but a kilo is $3,000. Man, so they're selling a kilo for $3,000. And then by the time we get to Mexico, it's $12,000, $13,000. Then by the time we get to America, it's $26,000, $27,000. Then when they get to Canada, it's $42,000, $43,000. These are all the opportunities that's presented to you. If we're just talking about drugs. Yo, I got it for 10. I got to sell it for 17. If I got it for 17, I got to sell it for 28. If I got it for 28, by the time I get up north of Canada, I got to sell 42. That's because the opportunities we given. Imagine somebody say, listen, man, you could run IBM in 7 years and make $300 million. Okay, let me sit down and take the course for 7 years. We didn't have that opportunity. Not just me, I'm just talking about people in general. So sometimes the streets may have made you, but it may have also robbed you of what you could have been. And if you find that guy who made that statement, make sure y'all show him this video, because I wish I remember his name to give him his props, because that was worded eloquently. So I want to give him his credit on that.
Everybody loves a comeback story, until you really sit with how rare that ending actually is. Here's my real takeaway from what Cam'ron was saying. Listen closely. He wasn't taking shots at Jay-Z, and he definitely wasn't romanticizing the streets. He was drawing a clear line between myth and reality. And that distinction matters because too many people grow up treating one success story like a roadmap when it's really an outlier. The 92 bricks line hits hard because it plays like a movie scene. But Cam'ron is right about something folks hate admitting. Survival doesn't automatically mean destiny. Hold up. Sometimes you make it out, and sometimes you don't. And sometimes you escape, but you still lose years of your life you'll never get back. That doesn't make anyone soft. That just makes the story honest. What I really respect about this conversation is the grown man perspective. Jay-Z's journey is legendary, but legends aren't step-by-step guides. Most people don't get a do-over after losing everything. Most people don't flip risk into a worldwide brand. Jay-Z eventually turned his past into strategic business moves that helped him build a reported net worth exceeding $1 billion. That level of money isn't normal by any stretch. That's elite territory. So let me ask y'all something. Think about this. Do you believe Cam'ron was right in saying Jay-Z's 92 brick story isn't a blueprint for everyone? Do stories like Jay-Z's motivate people more than they mislead them? Or can both of those things be true at the same time? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.